For problem number 2, we're going to let d of x equal to 5 minus x for x values between 0 and 5 are the price in dollars per unit that consumers will pay for x units of an item. Let s of x equal the square root of x plus 7 be the price in dollars per unit that producers will accept for x units. So s of x is our supply function. Find the equilibrium point, the consumer surplus at the equilibrium point, and the producer surplus at the equilibrium point. So this problem is very similar to the first problem we did. To find the equilibrium point, we're going to set the demand function equal to the supply function. So that's going to look like d sub x equal to s of x. So we're setting 5 minus x equal to the square root of x plus 7. And then we're going to solve for x. Keep in mind the equilibrium point is where the demand and supply function equal to one another. Alright, so we're going to have to square both sides to get rid of the square root. So 5 minus x squared is equal to x plus 7, the square root, and we're squaring that to get rid of that square root. So here we're going to have to multiply out the left-hand side. We have 5 minus x times 5 minus x, and then the square root goes away, so we have x plus 7 here. So multiplying out the left-hand side, we're going to have 25 minus 10x plus x squared equal to x plus 7. Since we're solving a quadratic, let's get all the terms on one side. We'll move all the terms to the left-hand side here. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides and also subtract 7 from both sides. So we're going to have an 18 minus 11x plus x squared equal to 0. Now this quadratic will factor. It'll factor into, let me rearrange these terms. X squared minus 11x plus 18 equal to 0. Putting it in standard form. Now let's factor it. It'll factor into an x minus 9 times x minus 2. So setting each factor to 0, we have x equal to 9 and x equal to 2 as our two x values that are solutions to this quadratic. But now if we go back and look at this problem, the problem tells us to let x be between 0 and 5. The price is between 0 and $5. So that means we can cross off the x equal 9. So here our x value for our equilibrium point is 2. So plugging 2 back into either equation, demand or supply, will give us our price for the equilibrium point. So if I take and plug 2 back into, say, the demand function, we have 5 minus 2, which gives us 3. So our price is 3. And you'll get $3 if you plug it into the supply function as well. So our equilibrium point looks like 2, $3. So now next let's find the consumer surplus at this equilibrium point. So to find consumer surplus, we're going to integrate the demand function from 0 to x sub e, which in this case our x value of our equilibrium point is 2. And then we're going to subtract off of that the product of our x and our p value of our equilibrium point. So that's going to look like the following. We're going to integrate from 0 to 2. Our demand function is 5 minus x dx minus 2 times 3. So let's integrate 5 minus x. So we have 5x minus x squared over 2, and we're integrating from 0 to 2, and then minus 2 times 3, which is 6. So let's plug 2 in. So we have 5 times 2 minus 2 squared over 2. Alright, and then we're subtracting from that what we get when we plug 0 into this. Well, 5 times 0 is 0 minus 0 squared over 2. So that's going to be just 0. So minus 0 and then minus 6. So we're left here with a 10 minus 2 squared is 4. 4 over 2 gives us 2 minus 6. So we have 10 minus 2 minus 6. So we're left with $2. So $2 is our consumer surplus at the equilibrium point. Next, we need to find the producer surplus at the equilibrium point. So our equilibrium point is $2, $3. So here's how we find the producer surplus. So we take 2 times 3, and then we're going to integrate minus the integral from 0 to 2 using our supply function, which is the square root of x plus 7 dx. Now since we're integrating, I'm going to rewrite the square root using exponents. So that's going to look like x plus 7 to the 1/2 power as our integrand. Alright, so now what we have here is we have 6 minus, and now we need to integrate. So we're going to integrate x plus 7 quantity to the 1/2 power. So that's going to look like x plus 7, adding 1 to the exponent is going to be 3/2, and then dividing by 3/2 power, which is like multiplying by 2/3. And we're integrating from 0 to 2. So we have 6 minus, and we're going to plug 2 into this. So we have 2 times 2 plus 7 raised to the 3/2 power over 3. And then we also need to subtract from that what we get when we plug 0 in. So we have 2 times 0 plus 7 to the 3/2 power divided by 3. Alright, so now let's simplify this. So we have 6 minus, and then inside here we have 7 plus 2, which is 9. 9 raised to the 3/2 power is 27. And then 27 times 2 gives us 54. And then 54 divided by 3 gives us 18. So we have 18 here minus, and then when we try to simplify this quantity with 0 in for x, we have 7 plus 0. So 7 raised to the 3/2 power is not a nice whole number. So if we use our calculator to help us with this, and multiplying by 2 and divided by 3, that quantity comes out to be, if we rounded 2 decimal places, is 12.35. So now simplifying this, what we have here is 6 minus 18 and then plus 12.35, and that comes out to be 0.35. So our producer surplus then is 35 cents.